On this episode of Geek Dad Live, we're going to talk about the week in geek for August 13th, 2020. Hey everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Live. My name is Jay, and with me is none other than the legendary.
Oh, stop saying that.
The greatest beard in podcasting, Ralph Apple. How you doing, sir?
Doing all right. I did a little bit of a trim, but it's still gigantic. I'm not letting it go shorter.
Okay.
I'm trimming here and here, but I'm not letting it grow shorter.
Okay.
I want to see how long it goes for during this furlough.
You're going ZZ Top style. PD Dubs is here. Hello, PD Dubs. Heyo. Gold Digger. Hello, geeks. Oh, look, it's got a little jiggle to it. It's got a little Jello mold going on there. That's nice. Hello, everybody out there in internet land. We are continuing the simulcast over Facebook and YouTube. So hope everybody is Fet's big anniversary day. Happy 10th birthday to Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I did see that on some of my news feeds.
You like that one?
I've never seen it.
That's fine.
I have friends that think it's the greatest movie since sliced bread. You seem to be kind of meh.
No, I like it a lot. I really like it.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. It's not my favorite Edgar Wright movie, but as it's standalone as a movie, it's great.
What's your favorite Edgar Wright movie?
Hot Fuzz.
Of course.
I love Hot Fuzz.
I should have known.
I think here's the thing is, so over at VHS Dude, people assume that I'm a horror guy. I'm not a horror guy at all. But I'm an action guy. I love action movies. So Hot Fuzz is like perfect because they make so many references to action movies. So I watch that movie probably once every 3-4 months.
I think I remember this correctly. I took my now deceased grandmother to that movie. If I'm remembering this correctly, we went to go see, because I would usually take her to the movies.
It's a funny movie to take with a elderly person.
Yes, and she is notorious for being like a loud laugher. Like, everyone will turn around and look at her, and she just was cracking up, like squealing through that movie.
For those who haven't seen the movie, it's essentially an action movie about Nick Frost and Nick Frost and Simon Pegg as police officers versus a bunch of old people, like elderly people.
Yes,
and it is amazing. I love it.
It is fantastic. It is fantastic. I think Fetz is grimacing at my lack of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. You
should check it out. You should check it out. Maybe okay for the kids. It's got a lot of action.
That has the end where James Bond gets like speared through the mouth, doesn't it? If I remember.
Hot Fuzz. Yeah, Hot Fuzz does. I'm talking about Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, don't.
Okay.
Dude, there's all kinds of violence in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Like PG-13.
Okay.
The violence is cartoony. When someone gets killed or cut with a samurai sword, they turn into a bunch of like gold coins, like a video game.
Okay.
Like it's very stylized violence, and I don't think the language is bad.
Yeah.
Producer Ryan says, I'm debating showing it to my 5-year-old. So it's not.
He's watching it tonight. So is he keeping his 5-year-old up?
Well, I mean, over here it's only 6.
Oh yeah. How I miss like watching baseball games, like West Coast games. Yeah.
This is natural sunlight coming through my window.
Days are shorter over there in Southern California, so our days are longer. Don't know if that's a good thing or not. That beard is so clean, it looks fake.
When I first met when I first met Jorge, he asked me if I dyed my beard. But now I'm getting gray. You can't really tell because you can't tell what's shimmering and what's, but like it's like a matte black over here in the shadows.
All right. Ralph, it is middle of August. Have you seen all of Clone Wars yet?
No. But I'm wearing this cool Anakin Skywalker shirt.
Now, no, don't try and like show some cool thing to distract from the fact that it has been months.
I'm gonna mess up my shirt. I need a TC Tugger.
And you have still not seen Clone Wars. Oh, cool for Novi, yellow. Good to see you. Okay. What were you too busy this weekend watching instead of the end of Clone Wars?
More Power Rangers.
You've seen Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. I've seen Power Rangers at least 4 times all the way through. I don't know. What can I tell you something though? Like, and this isn't a plug, but my week has been like consumed by creating a new shop for my site.
Yeah.
And so I just been doing that like all day long. So yep, that's them right there.
I'm trying to upload the trailer that I just did before it came on, but how I was going to ask you, how is Threadless? I have all these great logos. I should probably make a thing, but is it easy?
It's better. There's a lot of functionality that you have. So it is like data entry, hardcore work. Like they have like a ton of products. And so if you upload a design, you want to make sure that the logo on the shirt, it goes good with the 20 colors they have.
Yeah.
So you can click through that for just one shirt. I would say on average, if I'm really paying attention, it'll take me about 45 minutes to do one design. But that's including, because the thing is they have things like in different proportions. So you can make shoes.
Yeah.
And that's not going to take the same kind of file as a skateboard. So you got to go into Photoshop, use their templates, and move around how you want to position. So right now I've been just doing like the kind of easy stuff and getting it in there. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, if you're starting from scratch, it's one thing. When you're moving over something like 57 pre-existing artworks over, it takes a while. But I'm really happy with the way it looks.
Yeah.
I'm able to split out my stuff. So like for those of you that visit casinoskunk.com, you notice that I have like links to like Dharmalars. All right, let's do a podcast, Kaiju podcast. It came from the VCR and more. I'm able to create separate pages for each of those entities. So now if you go to vhsdude.com, it takes you directly to the VHS page. You don't get lost. You don't get lost in the overall Casino Skunk. So instead of having a Casino Skunk TeePublic site, which I have, and a VHS Dude TeePublic site, which I have, I can have one site that encompasses all of my projects. So,
wow,
I do. There's skate decks. I don't skate, but the skateboards look awesome.
That's cool.
I have a friend.
Is it pricey comparatively or
well, here's the difference, and I don't know if anybody is interested in this stuff. So TeePublic, you sell your items and you get a base amount for whatever you sell.
Yep.
Usually a basic t-shirt you'll get $4 back.
Okay.
But people always buy them on sale, so you get $2 back.
Gotcha. Okay.
Threadless has a set price for all of their items. And I mark it up, and however much I mark it up, that's how much I get.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what I've done on Threadless, because I'm not trying to make a buttload of money, is I made it so I still get the $2 per shirt.
Nice.
So
okay.
So you're not getting gouged by me. The shirts should be somewhat under $20, and you have the ability to get different quality shirts. There's like a cheap basic shirt, but then they have like thicker shirts. So it's cool. I check it out. If you go to casinoskunk.threadless.com, the shop is open. I just need to fill it out.
Nice hat, Ralph. Is that NCOM hat on your page?
Yeah. Yep.
And then
because of recent news.
yes, I do know. I do want to talk about the Tron news. Old school Shinobi, are you a graphic designer, Ralph?
I wouldn't call myself a graphic designer per se, not professionally. I had a job for about 5 years where I started really getting to learn Photoshop, and it's the reason why VHS Dude exists. I found that through working through that company, through social media, and through the podcast that I used to do, you can get a lot of stuff out there and get a big following for free. And so I created, like, I understand SEO and all of that stuff. If you make something look professional and concise, people think the VHS Dude is a group of people. It's not. It's just me. So through that, I started learning how to create logos and stuff, and using that stuff I learned at work for my own page. Because I have those VHS back here, I need to do something with them. So I'm like, I'll create an online thing so that it's not just taking up space for no reason. But yeah, I do. I like doing a lot of graphic work. I think I'm going to be doing a lot more with these skate decks, just specifically skate deck designs. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, if I can get more time, I'll if I just get a pocket of time, I'll try to make a Geek Dad. Actually, I bought a domain, so Geek Shop Life and Geek Store Life. I got them. I need to put something in them. And this week, and I usually like to do housekeeping. I know a lot of people went and checked out or were part of our my toy podcast, Toy Geeks. We did a live post-con recap of PowerCon, which was a lot of fun. And then this week I've been working on a new episode, but a lot of it was distracted by watching season 2 of the Umbrella Academy. Is anybody out there watching it has already watched it? Because we watched season 1 and 2 like the weekend 2 last night. We finished it. We just binged the crap out of it. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't. It's good. I used to work at a comic book store. And that book, the book Umbrella Academy, was really big at the time. But for me, it didn't seem like it was my thing. My things.
I like, and for me, Gerard Way would come to our local Comic-Con all the time because he's friends with one of the comic book shop owners here. So I know he did the book and everything, but it's just like the only modern comic that I read and I adore and love is Saga. Saga's incredible. But we started watching it because people were saying season 2 is so good and just fell in love with it. It's fantastic. Now, again, it's X-Men, it's Doom Patrol, it's just a different kind of take on that idea. But it's fun. The character, I think the character is what makes it. All the actors do a great job. It's really fun to watch. Because Umbrella Academy is great. So is Doom Patrol, which was a major inspiration for it. Yeah, it's kind of like there's Doom Patrol, which then I would say inspired X-Men to some degree. Or maybe Fantastic Four could even be it. Like everything's kind of derivative of something else. But it's Morano Chacon says UA season 2 is thankfully surprisingly better than season 1. It's cool. It's just it's I don't know. I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, including you, Ralph. But you're gonna probably take 7 years to catch up to it. So then we'll talk about it. But it was a lot of fun to binge that over the past week. Saga is supreme. Here's hoping the hiatus ends soon. I agree. Have you read those books?
I'm on like issue 28 or something. I have a lot of catching up to do on Saga. Okay. What I am reading right now, which I think I'm like 13 issues away from finishing, is Invincible. Robert Kirkman's superhero book, Invincible.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And there is an animated series coming to Amazon Prime soon that I'm very excited for. Looking forward to it. If you haven't read Invincible, you might be able to wait for the show. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty close to the comic. But Invincible is fantastic.
I will. Is it? I'm guessing it's collected trade paperback already.
Yeah. It came out. It came out probably, I don't know when. Geez, around the same time, maybe a little bit before Walking Dead. And then ended, I think maybe two 2 years ago, something like that. Really good.
Mariner, you missed the very beginning. Ralph, did you finish the end of Clone Wars season 7?
No. No, I don't want to. I want to hear that every week.
Oh man. Jack Level says Ralph has to watch Cool Hand. No, he doesn't.
Yeah. That's another thing. I talked to Jack. Sometime that episode will air. I think maybe next Friday. I have a show that I'm going to post with me and Jack talking about the Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
Yes.
And we need to talk about the episode we're doing.
We do
after we're done here. We don't have to.
Yes.
Don't spoil it yet.
I want you to hold your Butch Cassidy thoughts, or if you even wanted to share them. But I did want to share. So while I was, just head deep in Umbrella Academy, again, highly recommend it. A lot of fun. Both seasons are out right now on Netflix. I'm not paid by Netflix, so that's just a personal recommendation there. I did want to give a trailer for the next episode of Geek Dad Life. It is dropping tomorrow. But you that are part of this live show right now will get a sneak peek right now. All right,
that mouser is awesome.
Yeah. Tomorrow I will be reviewing the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Bug Zapper Blue Baxter Stockman by Super 7. It was one of the exclusives I was able to get, even though San Diego Comic-Con didn't happen this year. A lot of the toy companies still put their exclusives out. Hasbro's aren't coming till September, but I was able to get that Baxter Stockman glow in the dark, and I filmed it and then did my little voiceovers, and I just finished editing it right before we started this episode, so I'll upload it, and then it'll post tomorrow evening. So hit that like button, hit subscribe, and click on that bell icon to be notified when that episode drops. Old school Shinobi, what we have here is a failure to communicate. All right, back to Jack's old movies. So you have a podcast where you watch, and it's part of your Patreon, right? CasinoSkunk.com Patreon.
Right. $1.
$1.
Unlocks all 76 plus episodes.
I don't know how this live show became Ralph's QVC channel, but
I know this episode is chock full of my plugs.
But you have a show where you watch a movie you've never seen before that most people have seen and really like, and you watched Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and I don't want to maybe you don't want to spoil it. Do you not want to spoil it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it matters.
I won't say it. But anyway, I
will
want
to talk about the music real bad.
Well, I do. Maybe we can do it afterwards. I mean, you don't want to spoil it, but I was just like, there's no way. If it really there's no way it doesn't bother Ralph. And I talked about it on the Ramblecast last week. It's a podcast that if you don't know. And it was funny. Like literally, I think they posted that episode. And after you did your episode, and I think I was with Jack on Sunday, I was like, there's no way he doesn't bring this up. And you texted me like right as you were watching. I was like, I knew it. So
well,
anyway.
I'll tell you this, on the episode, Jack brings up you and the music first.
I knew he would.
I mean, the best thing about it, because the music is not great, is that there's so little of it. There's probably like 6 cues in the entire movie.
Right.
So, and it's all during montages, so it's like, okay, fine. But I can say this, the episode following that one has yet to be recorded, but I will be watching Inception for the first time with my guest, Jay.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Excited. And you know, what's great about watching Inception, or at least I am really excited to talk to you about, is it is probably the most Hans Zimmeriest of Hans Zimmer scores. I love it because of that.
Yeah,
It
people
is,
love it.
yeah, it's like it's the most stereotyped, like reduced to its purest Zimmer form of a score.
Yeah.
But man,
How long did his cat sleep on the keyboard this time? I'm looking at you, Dark Knight, Joker theme. Come on, man. Come on. Really? James Newton Howard did the first two Batman scores with him.
Mm-hmm.
And James Newton Howard's out there running circles around Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why? And then the last one, they just use Hans Zimmer. I'm sure James Newton Howard's like, I'm out of here. Screw this. I don't need this.
But the thing is about Inception, it works. It works really well.
I think it's going to be fun because it seems like there's a lot of room for interpretation, and we'll be able to theorize a lot. And it'll kind of harken back to the days of Lost, where we'll be able to kind of give our own theories. Is that correct? There's like room for interpretation?
Yes, absolutely. Ryan Moore says, is it the most Hans Zimmer because he wrote so little of it? Yes, it is.
Right. Go to any Hans Zimmer score, scroll down in the credits, and look where it says additional music by, and those are the people who wrote the score. Just letting you know how that works.
Is my favorite live infomercial.
CasinoSkunk.com.
And Mariano Chacon says, Jay, you and the other guy did a good job on PowerCon after the show. I'm not into Motu, but still found it interesting and fun to listen to. Thanks, Mariano. We had a really good time. Ralph, I don't know if you watched it at all, but John's a good buddy of mine. We do that toy podcast together. And I think we'll do that more often. I think that was fun to like talk about the toy scoop live. That was a good time.
Right. When you flashed up flashed up a little image of went by real quick, and I think I saw a Stratos in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there was. So
were you not supposed to show that?
Well, no, I can show it. I just didn't know if you wanted to see it or not, because then it would like tempt you into wanting it. I think I deleted it accidentally. Damn it, did I delete it?
That's fine. I saw it it's ingrained in my brain. It flashed so fast that it left a photograph in my mind.
Flashed so
I know it. Yeah, my shirt is it's Annie, like Little Orphan Annie, but it's Anakin Skywalker. It's from Star Wars Minute. It's a podcast called the Star Wars Minute. I'm just going to plug everything.
Are you on that show? Are you executive producer?
No, but one of the hosts was on my first episode where we talked about the black hole.
So yes, we did that live PowerCon post-con recap. You can check it out on geekdad.live. But so they announced the next figures coming out in 2021, and I know Stratos is your favorite He-Man character and figure. And yes,
he's got a beard, no mustache.
He is coming out and being a part of the line, which will include a vintage style merman, a Roboto with working gears like the vintage one, and Ninjor, a later figure that is actually super rare nowadays. But pumped they're doing a real Roboto because the old one had the working gears inside. So
yeah,
we see it. But anyway, the new toy will also have working gears, which is pretty cool. But the thing is just, they're going on, which is neat because they're also doing like a little people gears and
battle damage He-Man.
Yeah, they're doing that too. That's a little weird though. I don't like it. His head looks weird, but the Skeletor and
his hair, yeah.
Because the vintage one is one of my favorites. The vintage battle.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite toys of all time.
Mine's still. Yeah. Oh, maybe there we go. Anywho, but yes. Okay, that's everything that I had prepped here before this. Now you're wearing that Incom hat,
right?
2 weeks ago. Okay, tries to straight up beat Nick with that goatee. It's a very Lincoln type beard, right? Lincoln had no mustache.
Right. I need to keep on talking.
Yes.
I have a casting. I always had this casting thing that I wanted to do for Stratos,
Yeah.
and I put Will Ferrell as Stratos.
Wait.
Because
Oh my god.
I hope I can find this for you.
Okay.
But I'm wearing the NCOM hat.
Yes.
Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to find this picture. I did side by sides, and it was a picture of Will Ferrell from Saturday Night Live, and it was one of his characters with a beard,
Yeah.
with a mustache.
Mm-hmm.
So I cast him as Stratos. But I had like Nick Offerman as Man at Arms.
Oh,
and
that's
like the side by side was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I'm wearing the NCOM hat today because we have news for Tron 3.
Tron 3 is legit happening. I'm a little concerned because Jared Leto's been
casting
confirmed.
or
yes, casting. Jared Leto's been confirmed, but nobody else, and I'm worried. I'm just a little bit worried. That's all.
He's got to be a villain, right?
He'd have to be, but there's no. You would think that would come with a Jeff Bridges announcement, right?
I don't know. From what I heard, it's a completely separate thing. So I don't know. This is still way early.
Yeah.
It's a new director. It's not Joseph Kosinski, from the director of Lion, which is a movie I haven't seen. But we mentioned this a couple weeks ago that I wanted a new director because we've seen the vision of Steve Lisberger and Joseph Kosinski. It'll nice to see a new fresh take on it.
Yeah.
If it's a whole new story, I mean, Jared Leto's fine. I liked him in Blade Runner 2049. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
If he could play a more subtle kind of villain, that would be neat. It is weird that they set up Dillinger's son, the Cillian Murphy, in the second one. I don't know if they're going to keep on going with that storyline. It's called Tron, so are we going to see Tron?
But Tron's never really been the focus.
I know
the movies.
He's kind of the focus. I think he's the focus in the animated show.
I never watched it.
I only watched the first couple episodes.
Okay.
Maybe I'll finish that up this week.
Because I don't know. I'm with you. I love Tron. It was one of those movies, like as a kid, that just like I don't know. It just seemed magical.
Right.
And the game, the arcade game, was just unlike any other arcade game you would see. It's the best looking arcade game ever.
Right.
So
agreed.
It sits up there for echelon of geekery. So I'm glad they're making more Tron. I think them doing that hopefully also is more incentive for Arcade 1-Up to do their smaller Tron. Because I sold my last Tron full-size original vintage arcade expecting them to make a Tron, and they haven't yet, and I'm like itching to play again. I don't want to buy another unless I find one for a good price, but and Colleen won't divorce me. But
I mean, hey, I'm excited. I didn't think it's been 10 years. I didn't think it would happen. I'm all for it. I mean, even if it's some sort of straight to Disney Plus thing, that's fine. Any new Tron is good with me.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming the reason why they're moving forward is because they have the Light Cycle attraction coming to Walt Disney World, and they want to make sure that the franchise is fresh in people's minds. So they got to make it good. They got to want people to come in and see it. So maybe this might be the first Tron that's sort of more of a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
As opposed to like a hardcore sci-fi film. So I could see it being more action heavy. I could see it having sort of a Marvel-esque like kind of storytelling that's very easy for everyone to grasp, that everyone can sit and watch and enjoy. So, but it has to have Tron in it.
Right? Yeah.
So
Bruce. You gotta have.
Yeah, get Bruce Boxleitner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. And yeah, like while he was good in that, is very like I don't see him. Who knows? He's a good actor, so he could be the lead.
He's going to be covered in light.
Yeah,
That's fine. Don't worry.
Let's see. We have a toy related question here. Are people still having a hard time finding Slash Leatherneck and Casey Jones / Foot Soldier? Found at my local Target. From what I see, they look like they walked out of the cartoon. I finally, I didn't find it specifically, but one of my toy buddies found, and it's right over there. I probably should have brought it over here. The Casey Jones and Foot Soldier 2-pack. You keep talking, Ralph. I'll be right back.
Okay. So with Tron, we need to see light cycles. I'd like to see new designs on some of the vehicles, or maybe get new vehicles. But there's in Joseph Kaczynski's, we saw upgraded versions of all of the same vehicles: solar sailor, light cycles, recognizers, even Clue's transport ship. We saw some tanks, barely, just a little bit, but for the most part, it was all similar. Just upgraded versions of the original vehicles. It'll be cool to see if they could come up with some new ones. Like I like the light jets.
Yep,
those were cool.
Yep,
those were cool. So, and then toys. I want more Tron action figures. So
agreed. Agreed. I got my little, well, the Diamond Select stuff's pretty cool. Probably see my little Tron section. I can't.
Oh yeah.
But the Diamond Select stuff was pretty cool, and that was another Comic-Con exclusive that I got that I haven't gotten in the mail yet. But the VHS,
is that the one that's based on the VHS? Yeah.
I pre-ordered that way back when. I think it was the first one that I got, so hopefully that comes soon.
That has to be one of the most random paint schemes in an action figure.
Yeah,
because we were talking 2 weeks ago. We were talking about the Coming Out of Your Shell tour Ninja Turtle toys. But this is the color scheme of Tron, specifically from the back.
Yes,
the old classic VHS tape for Tron.
Yeah,
it's like the red, white, and blue sort of painted version.
Yep.
It's awesome though.
I'm really pumped because it looks freaking cool.
Yeah.
I've left my Tron, the other Tron figures in the box, the ones from Diamond Select, but this one I'll be fully reviewing on the channel whenever it does come out. But yeah, I think it looks really cool.
Do you have a copy of that VHS?
I don't.
Yeah,
Most of my VHS I find in a while. I have not found a copy of Tron ever in my travels. But let's see. Oh, yes, I did get the Casey Jones Foot Soldier 2-pack. Now, if you missed my trailer for the Baxter Stockman, I thought about maybe trying to do this one real quick tomorrow morning. No, tomorrow's Friday, maybe Saturday morning, and then maybe getting up Saturday night or Sunday night. But I have a few more videos planned as well. I also, my Comic-Con exclusive Dennis Nedry came in the mail, so I got to do that one. I feel like I'm just so stacked on things that I need to film.
And that Boba Fett. I want to see that Boba Fett.
And that too. Like I feel like
Hasbro one.
I see it every time. Like I need to do this for Ralph. And the past 2 weeks, like I want to do filming so I can do a little teaser trailer for Ralph.
Here we go. Here's the deal.
Okay.
This is how you're supposed to play this.
Okay.
I'll do that review when you finish watching Clone Wars.
I'll do that review when you finish watching Clone Wars.
Fine. Okay, sounds good. No, that's good. It'll motivate me because I really want to get a closer look at that figure, and I'm not going to do a Google search. I'm going to hit that bell icon and make sure that
you're notified when that next video drops. Oh man. Marino says the Tron cartoon Tron Uprising is mainly focused on a new character named Beck.
Right.
Tron is in it, but serves as a mentor to Beck. It was good, but I think it only has 2 seasons. So come on, why can't the Tron movie be about Tron? He's in the title. Q's Gamer, I'm more interested in the Dune movie.
Yeah,
that looks really cool. I'm not a Dune guy, but I'm down.
I've seen Dune once, and it felt like someone meddled with something, and corners got cut, and it ended a little abruptly. But Denis Villeneuve who did Blade Runner 2049, is doing Dune.
Yeah.
And I loved Blade Runner 2049 for a sequel to a movie from 1982.
Yeah.
It is really well done. Similar to Tron Legacy was based a sequel to a movie that was made in 1982.
Yep.
Perfect. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm not sure when Dune came out, but I don't think it was 82.
I'm not sure either. If I had money, I would say Disney's going to move away from the more recent continuity. That'd be a bummer, but I get it if they do that.
So what if they make an animatronic Jared Leto in the Tron attraction?
No, I don't need.
I like him. I'm fine with him. I really don't have a problem with him. I feel like since the Joker, people have kind of
turned on him,
gotten on his case. Yeah, but
maybe I don't mind his Joker. Like I don't mind it. It's just I don't know. Maybe I'm not being fair. More of Ralph's family.
Last week it was my mom.
Yeah,
and she called me. She called me after sometime and was like, "Did I embarrass you?" I'm like, "No, I'm fine." It's just weird. It's weird because I'm just like kind of over here in my own corner of the room podcasting. But I don't know. It's weird.
Oh man. I think Tron Uprising was given more time, it could have turned into a very good cartoon. I wonder if it would have been in the Disney Plus era, if it would have kind of hung on a little bit longer than if it needed to be on a TV.
Well, they're probably going to push it with this movie. When the next movie starts coming around, they'll probably put it up on the recommendations and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. No, I agree. Old School Shinobi. David Lynch was a mad genius on Dune, but De Laurentiis meddled with the original cut of the film.
You could tell. It feels like it. It feels like there was meddling going on. And he did Dune instead of Return of the Jedi. He was supposed to do Return of the Jedi. So Dune must have been 83, 84, something like that.
Yeah. Mariano says the Dune movie is looking very good. Again, yeah, I mean, if you look at Blade Runner 2049, it's in good hands. And Blake, I thought Tron was a great cartoon. I need to watch it. I need to do that.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Except the only thing is that I believe they did like a pilot movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was like it might have been an hour-long version. I don't think that's on Disney Plus.
Oh.
So I think you can get it on iTunes for free
and
then go over to Disney Plus and watch. Because it wasn't technically part of the series. Like when you watch Rebels, there was that first episode like that was like setting everything up. But it was like it was kind of a mini movie. So it's kind of outside of the series.
Yeah.
So if you start watching Tron and you're immediately confused, chances are you need to watch that other one first.
I'm surprised it's not on. There's no reason for it not.
Yeah, it was really weird.
You're asking about the year. Shinobi says 84 for Dune. Mariano asked us earlier. I want to bring it back up here. I put it up there again. Ralph, can you please give a brief description of Invincible, the Kirkman
So Invincible is a story about a world where there are superheroes. Sort of the biggest superhero ever is Omni-Man. And Omni-Man came from a different planet, married a woman on Earth, and they have a kid named Mark. And so the story follows Mark in high school. And it pretty much starts off the day he first gets his superpowers.
Oh, wow.
So it's really brightly drawn. Corey Walker and started off the series, and Corey Walker is doing the character designs for the animated series.
Oh, awesome!
So the original artist is doing the designs for the characters. Ryan Otley, who's now on Spider-Man, did the majority of the series. Bright, colorful, easy to look at art.
Yeah,
it really pops. It has like Silver Age type of colors. It's all very bright. Incredibly violent.
Oh.
incredibly violent. Um, like dudes getting punched in the face in outer space, and like pieces of head everywhere, and like eyeballs dangling. Like it's nuts. But it's a comedy. Like it's really
Yeah.
lighthearted. The characters are really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I would say like not like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but something where it's like all about this kid who gets his superpowers,
Mm-hmm.
and it just like goes on from there. Like um, what it's like to create your costume, what it's like to join a team for the first time, what it's like to leave a team and go out on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about him and his family life. And it's incredibly easy to read. Um, I stopped reading it monthly because you could just blow through the 20 pages in like 5 minutes. You just
Mm-hmm.
blast through it. It's such an easy read. Um, get it digitally, get it in you know, trade paperback or however you get your comic books, or wait for the series. It seems like the series is going to be done pretty well. I think it's being produced. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. It's being produced by. I think Seth Rogen is still producing it. He was supposed to be producing a movie, but there's an alien in the
I thought he was doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too. Like, how did Seth Rogen become so involved in all this stuff?
but he does stuff right, you know, like yeah. Have you watched Future Man on Hulu? Great series. He produced that. I heard Preacher was great. He did that. Uh, but he's the voice of Alan, the alien in Invincible, which is exciting. The kid who plays Glenn, I don't really watch Walking Dead. He's playing Mark in Invincible. It looks like it's got a great voice cast, and it looks like it's sticking to the book. So if you don't get a chance to read the book, watch the series. It's on Amazon Prime. I think in September or October, real soon,
Okay.
real soon. But it's a take on superheroes. It's, you know.
Well, Canadian Blaken, who's a good friend, he runs a podcast called Let's Review Everything. Really fun show. It's weird how bright and cartoon is, but hyper violent. And he says a weird take on Superman, in his opinion. Did you get that feel?
Yes. It is. There is his dad is very much Superman-esque.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a lot to that storyline. Being the son of Superman is really interesting. There's some really good stuff in there. But I mean, if you take your time and look at the artwork, there's a lot of Easter eggs in it. Like he goes to Reginald Vell Johnson High School.
Oh,
That's
really?
his high school, yeah. And like if you look in the background, you'll see like kids walking around, and one's will be like definitely Jay and Silent Bob or Bill and Ted, and you'll just see like different things that are obscured, and they're just all these little Easter eggs in it. Really, really fun book. I can't recommend it enough. Invincible. Okay. Really, really, really easy read. It's the most easy read like ever in comic books history. If you're a fan of superheroes, trust me, it's easy. If you're a fan of superheroes,
yeah,
but you don't want to get, bogged down with, 50 years of continuity like a Spider-Man or a Batman, it's a nice self-contained world. I think there's a total of 139 or 142 issues. Mm-hmm. It's complete. The story is completely done. So you can just jump right in, read it, and you'll have a blast. It's a really fun superhero book.
Yeah. Old School Shemmy says never read it, but heard it was ton of old school, or had the tone of old school Spider-Man.
Right.
And
cracks, all that stuff.
Thank you, Ralph and Jay. Sounds interesting. It's by Robert Kirkman, and I like Walking Dead. So there you go.
If has anybody, I'm asking in the chat, if anybody has read The Walking Dead, you know how it's a page turner. You just want to go and go and go. I read something like 7 trades, the first 7 trades in like less than a week, and I'm not much of a reader. Invincible is the same way. It's a page turner. It really you just fly through it. A lot of fun characters. It's a little more light. It's lighthearted. Mm-hmm. I don't let the violence thing scare you, but the violence is kind of just like way over the top, like a Quentin Tarantino movie or something. But it's like the book is just a ton of fun.
Yeah, that was what Saga was like for me. Like people kept recommending it, and I was like, all right, let me do it. And I bought I think 4 of the books, the collected books, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on a long. I was going to California. I was like, I got a long flight. It was a business trip. I was like, yeah, this should last me the whole trip. And I think I read 3
Yeah.
of the books waiting to get on the plane. Like that's how like I was just.
Saga's a real easy read too. Saga's fantastic. And Fiona Staples' art on that book is so beautiful.
Oh, incredible! Like her work is fantastic. And so like seeing some of more modern comic books being translated on screen, and I think I'm blanking on his name, the writer of it, Lost Guy.
He did, yeah, the Lost Guy. Not Straczynski. Why can't I think of his name? You got me.
Brian K. Vaughan.
Wait, he didn't do Lost. Did he do Lost?
I thought, yeah, Brian isn't Why the Last Man. He was on. He did a Lost.
Oh yeah, he did do Lost, like season 3 and 4 or something.
Yeah, something like that. In either way, he wrote Saga, or he made Saga to be so insane of a scene that it could never be translated to a movie or a TV show. But I wish it would. I wish it really would. Can anybody get Saga? Oh, Saga is so.
It would be, man. It'd have to be like an HBO series and done like really well.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. But the budget would be insane because it's like Star Wars meets Game of Thrones. Like it's a huge story.
Hey, Disney Plus is doing one, HBO is doing the other. It's possible.
Yeah, it's
possible.
Yeah. Yep. Oscar says he was a writer on Lost. Yeah, he was. He definitely was. I'm trying to remember his
like 3 and 4, maybe season 2.
I think it was 2. I think it was. Monstrous is another beautiful series by Image. I have not read that one.
I'll have to check it out.
Briefly describe Saga. I've heard of it, but don't know anything about it. It's like a space kind of opera. Again,
there's like, okay, in the galaxy or whatever, there's a big war, and there's 2 different clans that are kind of warring against each other. A man from one and a woman from another end up getting married and have a child. And it's mostly about them traveling through the galaxy trying to protect their child.
Yeah.
Because both sides hate them now because it's Romeo and Juliet have a baby.
Yep.
And in space.
Yep.
With boobs and wieners and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're ever at Comic-Con and you see a dude dressed up like a prince with a television on their head, that's from Saga.
Yes. And yeah, it's high drama, it's space drama. It is very Romeo and Juliet meets Star Wars meets Game of Thrones. That's probably like the best kind of thing you could. But it's a really good. It's
God, if you could do it,
wings and boobs.
Yeah, spider legs and boobs. If HBO were to get the rights, I mean, even do it animated. I don't know, just.
But I would love live action. I would love live action.
Yeah.
The first book too, like I'm gonna pull up some artwork here, and again, Fiona Staples' artwork is incredible. Like it's absolutely incredible. It's like one of those great,
clean.
Yes, and here you go. I remember when they first. Here we go. Remember when they first came out, they built it as cross between Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, which doesn't even begin to describe the insanity. That's really fair. But yeah, I think the artwork is so incredible, and it's just one of those good combos of amazing art. And you're starting with Invincible too, but like the artwork is just so good, and the story is so good that it's just it matches really well. And that first cover, the first issue, you have kind of the 2 main characters and the daughter. And she's like breastfeeding baby, like while she holds a gun. Like it's such a good way to probably like just and you jump right into the story.
There's a little bit of a Wild Wild West feeling too, like almost a little bit like Firefly, a little maybe, like just traveling to the weird planets, and then they have like like revolvers, and I don't know. There's something about it. It's a lot of stuff. It's its own thing, and it's hard to kind of pick, what it is. But
but it's good.
It's fantastic.
It is a good read. Simplicity originally to the art and the character. Agreed.
Yeah, it's good.
But it is rated R. Like when I was reading it and Colleen was like, what are you reading? I was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, Stevie got into it, which is good because I didn't feel like a creep like reading it, because there'll be like a splash page with a big wiener or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, well, I mean, it's trust me, it's good. Like, it's nice to be able to have, someone who's along for the ride reading the book.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
You're going to see some stuff in it, guys.
You are. It's a grown-up book.
Yeah.
Saga is sounding very interesting. Yeah, check it out. You will not regret it. Invincible, Saga. I think Monstrous was recommended by Old School Shinobi.
Right.
So there you go. All right, Ralph, we're coming up to the last 8 minutes of the show today. What other things did you want to cover before we close out this week in Geek?
So today they announced the voice cast for a new Batman animated film produced by Bruce Timm.
Mm-hmm.
And
legend.
Yeah. It sounds like it's going to be really cool. It's Batman in the 70s. And the cast is cool, but what's cooler is, and I wanted to bring this up, is James Hong is playing one of the characters. Speaking of Blade Runner, James Hong was in Blade Runner. He was in Big Trouble in Little China. Has been in a ton of stuff. He's currently trying to get his bid in for a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
What?
James Hong's been in a million movies. But what's cool about it is that James Hong, or the person who's spearheading him to get his star on the Walk of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, is none other than Daniel Day Kim.
Oh, awesome. Good friend.
So Daniel Day Kim, friend of the show,
yep,
is trying to get James Hong to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hopefully with this new Batman movie coming out, Warner Brothers can get behind this and they can get his star on the Walk of Fame.
Oh,
I guess they have a GoFundMe and stuff. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. It's a pretty interesting idea. I got to be honest. We already have a Batman movie in the pipeline. We have A Death in the Family. And these DC animated movies, man, it's really hard for them to do something other than Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman.
Right. Because you're a Green Lantern fan. You are a Green Lantern fan.
I'm wearing my Green Lantern ring tonight. And there's two Green Lantern movies. But I mean, I'm going to make a recommendation because I usually do that. There was a Darwin Cook did a comic series called Justice League New Frontier, which takes place there was a gap in DC Comics between the Golden Age and the Silver Age. There was a gap in there because of World War II and people weren't into comics that much. Julius Schwartz took those old characters from the Golden Age, reinterpreted them for the Space Age, and came up with like the new Green Lantern, Flash, as we know him today, those characters. So Darwin Cook created this thing called the New Frontier, which bridges that gap. And he wrote the book and did the artwork. It's an amazing comic book. It's called Justice League, the New Frontier, and it's pretty great. They did an animated version of it, and it's fantastic. And Green Lantern is a main character in the movie. David Boreanaz plays Hal Jordan. It's really, really cool. So if you get a chance, look it up. It may be on HBO Max. If not, it's probably on the DC app or iTunes or wherever you can find it. But it's called Justice League New Frontier. It's like an hour and 15 minutes.
It's on HBO Max, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and it takes place in that era, and the artwork looks like a throwback. Yeah, the Green Lantern has the Silver Age shorts, shorts costume. Fantastic! Check it out. It's a really interesting take on that time period during the McCarthy hearings. Between World War II and the space race. So That's my recommendation for this week. Stick it in your queue.
Stick it in your queue. I guess Kelly Hu and Ken, another lost friend, Ken Leong, is a part of that as well.
Oh, cool.
Ken, really nice guy. Hung out with him in Hawaii, but Jack offended him on the red carpet. For those that know the old Lost podcast, but Jack offends a lot of people. It's fine. Yeah. Is that Luke Cage in the Batman cartoon screenshot?
It looks similar. It looks like Power Man. He's got the yellow shirt and the wrist gauntlets. Mm-hmm. I don't believe it is.
No, it's a Marvel character. It would never be. But it's cool. Right. You got the 70s, like Wonder Woman. And Bruce Timm. Like Bruce Timm's just legend in animated Batman. And for the Masters of the Universe fans, he was an artist or a writer on the early mini comics for Masters of the Universe too. That's where he got.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Because I know Paul Dini, who did the Batman the Animated Series with Bruce Timm, wrote He-Man episodes for Filmation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bronze Tiger.
That's
who it is.
Thank you, Paul.
Usually used to sing Bronze Tiger with
the new producer said it dealt with the nuclear age and the Cold War in a mature fashion.
Right.
There you go.
The book is amazing. If you can read the book, if you just watch the movie, you'll get it. It'll make you want to read the book. Mm-hmm. Darwin Cook, who passed away a couple of years ago, his writing and artwork are phenomenal.
Yep,
they're phenomenal. Check it out.
It does have an amazing look to it. Just looks fantastic. Yeah. And the cartoon does a really good job with that as well. All right. Well, 2 minutes left. Last questions. Send them in. While you send those in, again, tomorrow there will be the review of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Baxter Stockman Bug Zapper Blue Edition. And then I'll also maybe... Where did I put it? Did I already lose it? Oh, the Casey Jones and
Foot
Soldier split in half 2-pack. And that'll be it for me for the cartoon NECA stuff. Like, that's it. Like, I don't know about you or like how you feel about things, but for me, Turtles, I identify much more with the action figures than the cartoon. And Super 7 is doing action figure style, like modern articulated characters. So much more excited about the Super 7 stuff. But I do love NECA's movie Turtle stuff. So that I'm all in for still. But as far as the cartoon stuff, this is it. This is it for me. But I will be reviewing because Casey Jones is my dude. He's my favorite guy. I don't know why. I think it's a Boba Fett thing. It is the Boba Fett effect. The Boba Fett effect.
The mask.
Exactly. It's just like the mask character. When you're playing as a kid, it's so easy to like just pretend, and it could be anything, you know.
Did you say the Boba Fett?
The Boba Fett. Right, that works.
Yeah.
The Boba Fett.
Yeah. I need to jump on that and finish it up so I can see that review.
No offense, Ralph, but it's hard to take your suggestions when you still haven't finished Clone Wars Season 7.
Really? I want that sound effect to go on forever. I'm going to finish watching all but one episode. It's not like it doesn't.
You won't be able to. You got to watch it. And we'll do a really fun Clone Wars episode. And it'll be greatly timed because it'll be like 7 months after the episode.
I'll get it done before Mandalorian, I'm sure.
Baxter Stockman is big. Yeah, these things are huge. Like I'll talk about it in the review, but it is gigantic. It is a 7-inch scale, so it's in the Masters of the Universe scale, and it's incredible. I was a little bit put off by the price tag originally. I think it's like $45 a figure or something, but dang, these things are well worth it. Well worth it. Hey, but you watched every episode of Firefly except the last one? What are you doing? Just finish it. I mean, honestly, with Firefly, the movie really finishes it. So, like, just watch the movie. That's what I would say. That's my recommendation, Canadian Blake. And anybody out there listening or watching right now, check out his podcast. Let's review everything. It's a very fun show. I've been on it a few times. Really fun show on iTunes and everywhere else podcasts are sold. And speaking of podcasts, Ralph, you do 10,000. Where can people find all of the stuff that you do, even though you spent like the first 20 minutes of the show plugging them? But if they didn't watch the beginning, where can people find your stuff?
Casinoskunk.com. And you can also check out it came from the VCR.com, which takes you to my VHS Dude YouTube page.
Dope. I deleted all. Thanks for deleting my episodes. I think my episodes are pretty good on Let's Review Everything, but that's just me. But he's doing like a special Let's Review Everything American this season, which is a lot of fun. I watched The Sixth Sense, except the last 10 minutes. No spoilers, please.
Nah, that doesn't sound right.
I mean, that's a movie like everybody's been spoiled in that, right? Like it's like Fight Club. Everybody's been spoiled. Like there's just some movies that have been spoiled, but maybe there's still like some pure, innocent people that have not seen the end. But Ralph, I'm excited to watch Inception again myself, and I am going to be cranking up my Sonos surround sound system when I watch it because I love the Hans Zimmer score for Inception. And we will talk about it when we do your other podcast.
All right. We'll see.
At least the last four, Ralph, it's pretty much a legit Star Wars movie. I've said it, Mariana. I've said it. And Ralph still hasn't watched it.
Right. I'm sure
I don't know
what to do. As soon as we're done.
I don't know what to do. But whenever it does happen, you will see, I will like immediately make thumbnail artwork. It will get put up there on the channel. We will rejoice that we get to finally talk about them.
And then I'll get to see that Boba Fett figure. The Hasbro style sideshow.
Indeed. Listen, it's there. I gotta do it. I have one more big He-Man thing that I want to do. And I gotta do that the Casey Jones, but I got Star Wars stuff I got to do because I got there's a lot of Star Wars stuff coming down. So that Hot Toys one, and then I picked up there's new Star Wars figures that are kind of small and kind of more kid based, but they look like a lot of fun. I got the Ahsoka Tano, and they had a 2-pack with the Mandalorian and the Child. I got that, and then some of the Rebels series of Black series is coming in. So I'll be reviewing those soon. So a lot of Star Wars stuff is coming down the line. So that'll be popping up on the channel very soon. Mariana, thank you all for the show, Jay and Ralph. It was fun. Thank you all for join us again on this episode of Geek Dad Live. Again, we do these every Thursday at 9 o'clock. It is a chance for Ralph to plug his crap and for me to just talk about the week in geek. We will see you all next Thursday at 9 o'clock. And until then, hasta luego and goodbye.
Watch Justice League New Frontier.